Hey friends, it's Cole, and it's been a while since I've made a video. I'm about 5 months out of practice, but I'm super pumped about today's video. Um, it's the Tarot skincare routine, as started by Janaki of Catamancy Tarot. And in the last few months, I've really been getting into my skincare routine and kind of figuring out what products don't work for me as much as others. So this was a chance to nerd out about two things that I'm super excited about at the same time, in a cute and fun and unique, fresh way. So thank you, Janaki. Super excited to get into it. So I guess I'll just jump in. So there are 9 prompts. I added one at the end, and in it you describe, well, you show the product that you're using and then the deck that you would associate with that type of product. Okay, so the first one is the double cleanse. And so these are the things that I use for double cleansing. So I double cleanse in the evenings. And so I use the Deep Cleansing Oil by DHC. Um, so when I was in the last couple years, so I think the first thing I should say is that I am notoriously lazy. I am a Virgo sun, but I missed the part where you get all the wherewithal to do stuff consistently. I stepped out of class when I was being trained for that part, I guess. So I missed that part. Anyway, so I have a lazy girl tendency to just do the easiest thing. Um, I don't feel that way anymore with skincare, but for the last few years, I've been using cleansing balms, and those are balms that you put on your face when your face is dry, and then you emulsify it with water when you add water, and then mix it in, and then rinse it off. And then in the double cleanse, you follow that up with another moisturizer. So I was kind of just using the dry cleansing balms by themselves, and then, I mean, rinsing it off and everything like that, but not actually following up with a double cleanse. And I have dry skin. It's like dry combination, but more so dry. Um, any of the combination slash oily is like only in my T zone, and I've only noticed that because, so maybe this is gross, but I noticed that the bridge of my glasses gets really gross. So that's how I was like, oh, I'm also oily. Like, who would have thought? Can I like balance that a little bit? So that's what I'm trying to do with this. So the deep cleansing oil is an oil that you put on your face when your face is dry, and then you add water to it and it makes like kind of almost a milky consistency. And then once you wash that off, you follow up with um, a cleanser of your choice. And so, especially when the weather is, well, now that's starting to get warmer, but I live in the Northeast US, and so we have, we can basically expect snow until the end of April slash even the beginning of May. It's happened before. Um, so I use this Pond's cold cream makeup remover because it sort of also does the job of moisturizing as well, just a little bit. I'll still follow up with a moisturizer, but it kind of leaves my skin feeling a little bit more hydrated than another cleanser would. And so Pond's is something that I have always associated with like old Hollywood and old ladies. Is that weird? Like, I feel like it's very a Golden Girls kind of a thing. I feel like it's something that Blanche would have on her vanity. Although she wouldn't let you see that, only if, you know. But yeah, I think this one is fragrance free. I actually don't mind the smell of it, but this one I just noticed is just easier for me to use because I just kind of plop this on, and yeah, so that's what I use for the follow-up to the double cleanse. And I feel like these two make a pretty good pair. This actually has, I think olive oil is one of the ingredients in here, and I love olive oil, so some people may be opposed to that, but I'm not. So, and I think if I did have an opposition to it, my Italian ancestors would be biting their thumbs at me. Okay, so the prompt for the tarot deck, or the oracle deck, is the double cleanse is a pair of decks that helps you cleanse your energy at the end of the day. And so I chose these two Oh my gosh. I'm realizing I didn't plan this. Okay, so these these bags are actually made by Janaki of Catamancy Tarot. That's so funny. I was just like, oh yeah, okay. Didn't plan that, but these bags are perfect for these decks. Anyway, I didn't say what the decks are. It's the Rose Bay Tarot and the Softest Shade Oracle, both by Rose Bay Tarot. So these are available on Make playing cards, and I keep the Rose Bay Tarot in here. I edged mine in red. It goes very well with the bag, if I say so myself. Um, yeah, so I'm at like kind of an awkward angle um, for doing. Let me see, maybe I'll just show. Again, I'm like 5 months out of practice, so. Okay, so, oh, this is an order. Okay, right. Okay. Oh, because I was comparing this to another deck in this list. Okay. It's like, why did I order this? So, okay. So the Rose Bay Tarot and the Softest Shade Oracle. So also, this is the perfect bag for this. When I ordered these two, I was like, I'm not sure which decks I'm gonna put in here. But then when this one came in, I had just gotten the Softest Shade Oracle, and I was like, okay, like this is perfect. And then I edged this one in this soft purple. Okay, so how am I doing this? Let me put these. My unicorn. Okay. All right. Get it together. All right. Yeah, I mean, these two just, oh, and this is the large size bag, um, for example. Okay. Yeah, I really just adore both of these decks. I love Rose Bay Tarot's decks. Oh, these two together right now. Oh, stop. Okay. Um, yeah, just really gorgeous. I find that I'm very, at the end of the night, I'm baby. Like, I need to have a very, my Taurus moon kicks in, and I'm very, um, needing to wind down. I feel like sometimes I get amped up with tarot, depending on what it is, and I kind of want to get cerebral up in here, but I find that at the end of the day, sometimes that's helpful and I'll get like in a super studying mood or something, but usually I just want to wind down and chill out. I love that she added like the, you know, this almost looks like this would be like a Kristen Stewart, like Twilight era photo shoot, and then she put the girl with the pearl earring on top. I love that. Um, yeah, I just, I mean, these decks are just they're thought provoking and evocative without being, what's the word, activating, I suppose. Yeah. And this, I think I used this, I mentioned this deck in my coffee house decks video, and did I like start tearing up with this? Yeah, it just is a very loving, soft embrace. It's like a lavender cookie or something before bed. Um, it makes me think of the Lush Cosmetics scent Sleepy, which is like lavender and tonka bean, which is just fantastic. But yeah, I just find that these are very clearing and um also I think the imagery is nice for me before bed because it's a little bit dreamlike. And so yeah, I'm someone who used to have very vivid dreams, and then let's see. Content warning, mention of substance abuse. Then when I had started to have difficulty with um, drinking alcohol in a very copious manner, my dreams sort of disappeared, and I had a very fitful experience with sleep. So it's like I'm rehabilitating my like choice of words, interesting, my relationship with dreaming and like kind of trying to get to the place of getting my dreams back, even though it has been like 9 years since I drank. But you know, changes were made. So yeah. Okay. So that's the double cleanse. And the next one is the exfoliator. Now I have a little tiny exfoliator. I don't use this that often. I'm a little nervous. I used to be someone who would always use like salicylic acid and all sorts of stuff. So I have mostly problems with um dullness and like dehydrated skin. I don't have too much of a problem with acne and redness, and I don't believe I have sensitive skin, so I have quite a few products in here that have a scent. So obviously the Pond's is fragrance free, but yes, this is Paula's Choice exfoliant, and she has a couple different ones. So she has another one that's like a BHA toner, and the only my only understanding of that is that that's, in my view when I was researching it, is like rougher on the skin, or this is more gentle to say. Like, so if you're someone who has like the the redness and like clogged pores and stuff like that, then you would use the other one that's like the 2 BHA. But this one's a little bit more gentle, and this more is more for my skin concerns. So that's the dullness and the dryness. So I use this probably twice a week. Um, yeah, so anyway, it's this one. And yeah, and I remember when I first got this, it was like, it says reverses a compromised skin barrier. I'm like, wow, do I have a compromised skin barrier? I'm not sure, but okay. And the deck prompt is a deck that can be abrasive but helps you peel things back to reveal new growth. And I chose the Siliconway decks, the Devas of Creation, and the multi-dimensional Devas. So I keep calling it or referring to it as the multi-generational Devas. It's multi-dimensional Devas. And I think, all right, so oops, like all over the place. Okay. So this one is the multi-dimensional one, and this is the Devas of Creation right here. This one came out first, and then this one came out about 5 years later, I think. Okay. And I think the reason why let me just do one at a time because um, do I do it like, no, I want to do it this way. Oh yeah. Oh, I love this. This actually reminds me of a painting that a family friend uh, did in the 70s. But I think the one of the reasons I think of this deck as a little bit abrasive is because it always pushes me out of my comfort zone, and sort of in a slightly kind of forceful way, like a, go get out there. And I'm thinking of, okay, so my favorite movie is The Sandlot, and before Smalls meets the kids who play baseball, he's always in his room playing with the science kit and the erector set and stuff like that, and his mom is like, have you made any friends? And he's like, oh, it's hard because I'm still new. And she goes like, run around, scrape your knees, get dirty, climb trees, hop fences, get into trouble. Not too much, but some. um and that's what this deck is to me. I think too, some of the way that I also find I've only had or well heard a few interviews with Siliconway, but between the interviews I've heard and the way she writes the guidebook of this one, it's very like, you can, or especially in here, you can kind of feel or hear, you can really hear and understand the frustration she has with the idea of the collective not stewarding, not kind of like stepping up to steward the earth as much as we should. Um, and just kind of a frustration with the overculture and this kind of need to essentially like colonize the earth. Like, those are my words, not hers, but okay. Sorry, I'm like trying to get everything in there, but yeah, and there's a lot of, and I absolutely understand that frustration. And I think it especially comes across in this guidebook. So let me just, I have the guidebooks here. Um, yeah, so they're these two. Yeah. And I guess the last one I pulled was the Fourth Dimension. Okay. And then Devas of Creation. I think I pulled Cells. Oh, so this is interesting. This is unintended. But this is the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, and this was the first deck I got, and it was defective. It's like, speaking of exfoliant, I don't know if you can tell this. It's like this layer, sorry, this clear layer is like separating from the art. And so, um, yeah, we don't want that. So I was able to get a replacement, but I just used these as bookmarks because what else am I gonna do with it? Sorry, I'm like, anyway. So speaking of peeling layers back, but yeah, I think that, and this is not to say I think that Scylla Conway is an abrasive person or anything like that, but I think that the way there's this kind of get to do the thing, like get the thing done. That's, I find, both motivating and also paralyzing at times. It's like, oh, I have to get out of bed and do things, or a fish walked out of the sea and now I gotta pay rent, like the meme that's always around. But I love her art style. I know that I mean, I also am a fan of her Shimmering Veil Tarot, and it's just, yeah, I think these these decks are like a mover and a shaker. So, um, not that they can't provide advice in more chill times, but you know, you'd best get to getting with these decks, I guess. Okay, so the next one is the toner. And so toner, I've always kind of, toner, I feel like it primes your skin for, it kind of clears your skin and like primes it for what's going to be put on it. It's like I guess it's like the primer of skincare, I suppose. So I use this Rose Deep Hydration Facial Toner by Fresh, and I really like it. So this looks like, okay, so I do have another product of theirs that comes in a glass bottle, but this is plastic. And then this has rose petals in it. This is heavily fragranced. So it's like a natural fragrance because, I mean, it's a natural fragrance. It almost sounded like I said unnatural. Um because it has rose in it. So if you don't like the way rose smells, stay away from this one. I would. Um, so yeah, so it has just a little dispenser hole, but sometimes because these are so, you can kind of, well, actually you can't because of gravity, but sometimes the little bits of the rose petals come out, and you just want to be aware of that if you're like putting makeup on afterwards and stuff like that, because it will like kind of, the petals will kind of pill a little bit. But anyway, I don't wear makeup that often, so it's not really an issue for me, but I do find myself being like, oh, another rose petal, but it's fine. It's to be expected when it's full of this. And this, yeah. So it looks super full of rose petals, but I think that's just the um almost looks like pond water or something, but I swear it, I love it. So this is, I may switch this up when it gets warmer out, but especially for winter time with I know we just passed into spring, but I'm still in winter mode, I guess. But um this really helps in the when my skin is super dry, which is almost all the time. So there's that. And then the deck is a refreshing deck that helps you feel balanced. And I chose a Siren's Melody Tarot by Lauren Five Sirens. Have I mentioned the other one? Oh yeah, I did mention the other ones. Okay. So this is just a Luck Lab um box, but I lost the original, or the bag that came with, that I got with this. I wanted to keep it in a more structured thing. So, okay. So this deck I got in 2021. This is one of my favorite. This is a Two of Pentacles. I love that. Um, and one thing that I really like about this deck is that the court cards are all numbered and they don't have a name like page, knight, queen, or king, or prince or princess, any of that. It's just, so this is 11, so this would be a page, just the page of swords. Yeah, it's really cool. Should I do, I guess, yeah, let me try to, I love this card so much, it's so happy. And yeah, I feel like I think this deck is out of print now. She had like a really quick run of it, and she's actually a tattoo artist. Oh, content nudity. That's Marilyn Monroe's pinup, but she kind of changed the face a little bit. Um, yeah. So here would be, so this is 14 of wands, so that would be the King of Wands in traditional tarot, or the Knight of Wands if you read like that. Um, yeah, I mean this 10 of Swords. The Ten of Swords in general, I joke and call it the bane of my existence, even though it's not really a joke that it is. It kind of is, but it's also like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Yeah, it's one of those decks that even as familiar as I get with it, there's almost always something new that I find in a card that I haven't noticed before. But yeah, I mean this Tower card, I mean, I feel like it's still very aesthetically pleasing to me with the palette and the light beaming down. Yeah. Is there's one card. Oh, so this would be the King of Pentacles, and I love all the peacock feathers. There was another edition of this deck that came with keywords that were written here, but I got the one with no keywords. I do have a version with keywords, but it's called the love song version. Unfortunately, that one's in storage. I'm super bummed about it, but um, love that Seven of Cups. That's so cool. Okay. And I mean, the Queen of Swords is Frida Kahlo. Okay, so the Queen of Swords has been coming up for me a lot lately. And that's really interesting because it is a card that I had as like a focus card about, let's see, 5.5 years ago. I was like, I want to be more like the Queen of Swords. It's like, okay, is now the time? Um, I love, oh, this. I love this card. Just reminds me of that Run Lola Run movie. Just because of the hair, not necessarily because of the outfit, but really love that. Okay, so and anyway, so this deck is calming in its imagery to me too, but I feel that it has a good sense of kind of telling you what you need to know, but also so it doesn't do like a little dance around it. Um, but it's also very supportive. So I feel like it's that friend that you can kind of call on to call you on your bullshit, but also just um but it's not tough in any and it's not hard to it's not blunt, but it's more um I, I don't know how to describe it. It's a straight shooter, but it's not super blunt like other decks I've used are like the Lumina Tarot or the like Silicon Ways decks or anything like that. But okay, so moving on, I have the next one is Essence. And so for a while I thought that essence and toner were kind of the same thing, and in K-beauty, um, a lot of the times there are combined toners and essences, but from my understanding, like an essence is a little bit of a treat following a toner. It's like not a treat, but like yeah, it's an extra little like boost. Um, So I love this. This is a K-beauty one, so it's by Haruharu Wonder, and it's the Black Rice Probiotics Barrier Essence, and I don't know why it says a.k.a. Makgeolli. Um, this is like a milky toner. I don't want to like, yeah, I don't want to show you because I'm not prepared to for cleanup. But yeah, so it's I've heard that milky toners are really good for the skin too, and I find that this one, so I use this one at night. Um, I use something else during the day that's more like serum like, but I use this one at night. And part of this is that I I started a new skincare routine around like October, November, and I did the thing where I'm like, oh, let me try a few different products and like cycle them around, and this was one of the ones that stayed, and I love this one. So again, this is by Haruharu Wonder, and I put this on after my toner, and um, yeah, I love it. I can't recommend it more. So yeah, and it's vegan, PTA approved, and this doesn't have a scent, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not anything that I would notice, um, especially compared to like the rose things or anything like that. So, okay. So the deck for that is a deck that injects a potent dose of nature into your practice. So I picked two different decks for this because I feel that they both kind of get to this prompt, but in different ways. So I chose the Terra Incognita Oracle and then the Midnight Magic Tarot. So I'm just going to show one at a time. So this deck, this is the second edition, I think. So there was the one that you can get now is in a green box, and it's put out by Urania Press, which is run by Natasha Rowland, and she's one of the creators of this deck. So yeah, Natasha Rowland. She publishes like the current version, and that's in the green box. And oh, but I guess I used the book for the cards. So yeah, so this one came out. Oh yeah, so this one was in 2022. So the most recent printing is from last year, I believe. So it looks the same, but the backs are more this green. And the finish is so this finish is very shiny. Um, and the finish of the new one is linen. So I really like these cards. I kind of had a weird experience with uh getting this deck because I wanted it for a while, but it was hard for me to get, and there were a few obstacles in the way of me being able to like hunt one down and uh you know be able to have one sent to me. And then I ended up going to I went on like a little weekend trip with my mom up here in the Northeast, and this metaphysical shop had like two copies of this version at the store, and I was like, wait, is that? And it had been so long that I had forgotten what it was called. I just knew that, oh, it looks like this. It has black and white pictures of plants with this really cool font. Um, and so I was like, wait, is that it? So I was like, that's the font, but or when I saw the box, I was like, that's the font, but is that it? Um, and I was really excited to find out that it was indeed it. So let me just move this over because I think I'm blocking the mic. Um, yeah, so I like this because um, it's pictures of plants and herb. Oh, I love this fiddlehead fern, but or is that what that is? No, that's something else. Oh, I don't know. See, I have to. I'm also rehabilitating my relationship with plants because I joke around that I have a black thumb, and that it's dangerous for plants to be near me because I don't take care of them properly. And I say that because I've killed a cactus, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But that was in 2009, so I haven't really given myself many chances. um, I've also been co-responsible for the let's just say unthriving of my nana's like 30-year-old jade plants that um, when I went out of town, I didn't have heat on in the house because we were away for a week and a half, and yeah, the plants froze in the house. So that was unwise of me. So super bummed about that. But anyway, I think that so for me, I feel like this is a potent dose of nature, but the way that it's photographed is like almost like you would think in a biology class. It's kind of being observed by humans and it's been separated from its natural environment, like hence the white background. It's almost like, a zoo where, the animals are taken out of their natural habitat and like put into this um yeah, it's like there's this detachment from its original environment that I feel like I don't know, some residual guilt about. That's like, oh, but I have a plant in a pot, like, but I took it out of somewhere, even though someone else took it out of some, I don't know. But anyway, as a contrast to that, I have this deck, the Midnight Magic deck, which is all mushrooms. Um, now I used to hate I used to hate like eating mushrooms. And I mean like food mushrooms, y'all. Not like I don't have do magic mushrooms either, but like it's just the consistency was always weird to me, even though I always liked mushroom flavor. Like my dad would make mushroom risotto and I always liked the flavor, but I was just like it's just the consistency is weird, the springiness of it, and like I feel like I just would couch it as saying like I respect them too much to eat them. Just such a weird thing to say anyway. But based on other things I eat, it's a weird thing to say. But um what I'm getting at is I one time was watching one of my favorite shows, 6 Feet Under, and one of the characters goes on a date with someone, or they get takeout, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't get any." She's like, "Oh," he's like, "What do you want? You want this or this?" And she's like, "Oh, I'll have anything without mushrooms." And he's like, "I don't like mushrooms either." And she says, "They're so much like parts of people, aren't they?" And I that for some reason resonated with me, and I was like, "Yeah, it almost feels cannibalistic or something." But I don't know. Anyway, so I guess I could have been showing the cards while oh, these are the last three that I pulled. Okay, so this is a really wait, no, do it this way. This is a really cool deck. Um, yeah, it's just the art is really gorgeous, and I feel like this is a great contrast to the Terra Incognita because it's showing these mushrooms like in their normal habitat, like where they thrive. Like talking about plants like this, but um, I'm still trying to figure out if this is one of the things that I saw on like a hike. In the Snowbird Mountains of North Carolina, there were these things on the ground that looked like orange gumballs covered with like clear goo, and or like orange jawbreakers that looked covered with like clear slime. I don't know, but I've it's a hard thing to find out, but I'm sure someone, I mean, to try to Google and find out, but anyway, yeah, I feel that mushrooms have a lot of like medicine to give, and there's this sort of understanding of this weird kind of feeling I had about them, or feeling like, oh, they're like parts of people. They're like, but the idea of mycelium and stuff like that is super super dope to me. Um, so I feel like I would want to study mushrooms as like little all their different little species and stuff like that. Um, I'm talking about mushrooms in a really weird way, I guess, but um, yeah, it just feels very much like you come into this space when you're working with this deck, whereas with the other one, it's like you're bringing the plants and you're bringing nature to you. But this is more like, oh, you're on their turf. I mean, we're already on their turf, but it's hopefully I'm coming across, but um yeah, I really like this deck, and I'm still like getting to know it, but I think it does a nice contrast to it. But um I am a child and had to like cover the roach with like a sticker because I'm not that weird about creepy crawly things, but and it wasn't, I don't even think that's an actual roach, but it has like the leg hairs. I just couldn't, so I covered it with a sticker because I'm a child. Okay. So, wow, this video is getting really long. Okay, so the next one is serums and targeted care. And so I use a different one in the morning and a different one in the evening. So the one I use in the morning, and you'll see this is kind of where I start to get a few different products that are the same brand. So in the AM, I use Summer Friday's Jet Lag Deep Hydration Serum, and at night I use Dieux. I like saying it in an obnoxious way. It's like Dieu, which means God in French, and all their products are like, um, it's like this is called Deliverance, the serum, and it says Trinity serum. They have another one called Angel. Um, their their cleanser is called Baptism. It's like, they're really playing up that. But anyway, so I love Summer Fridays, and this is a great one for the daytime. I kind of use this a little too fast. Like this, I think I used up one of these in about 8 weeks, and that's fine. But I'm like, um, it's not quite sustainable because it's not the cheapest product. So anyway, and even then I was only using it one time a day because I was using the other one at night. So, but this one was actually a um I had tried another Summer Fridays thing that I liked, and skincare wise, when I was trying to figure out what products worked for me, I kind of went a little bit like musical chairs with the products that I was getting, and I figured if I liked the moisturizer by Summer Fridays, it would probably go well with the serum because they wouldn't put out a moisturizer that didn't go well with its serum. So when I was thinking of the just the actual act of like layering on skincare, I think I was nervous to like cross products in to a certain extent, because then it was like, oh, if I use a serum from here but a moisturizer from here and then a cleanser from here, is that going to just make I wouldn't know what my skin was reacting to. I mean, also it's smarter to just introduce one new product at a time instead of a couple like I did. But anyway, so I had had another Summer Fridays product that I liked and was actively using, and so I thought that this serum would likely go well with that, and it has. So, anyway, that's a very long winded way to say that. And then, same goes with Dieux. I have another product of theirs that I super love, and yeah, I use this at night. So, when you first start it, you use it only at night, but then they say to use it day and night, but I use the other one during the day. And I think this one's getting kind of low too, but this one is, both of these are a little bit on the pricier end compared to other things that you can get. But I find that with skincare, I'm not so like, I don't use makeup that often, but so I'll kind of go a little bit potentially over the top on skincare because I know that something works and stuff like that, rather than just trying to um I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at. I'm not saying that you can't get really high quality products at a lower price. Like that's absolutely the case. You can. You can get them. But I think, yeah, anyway. I don't know where I'm going with that. So, yeah, serums and targeted care. So the prompt for that is a deck that helps you explore a targeted issue in your life. And okay, so this one's newer to me. So this is the Deleted World Tarot, and I didn't think that I would be as into this deck as I am. Um, it's really cool. And in case anyone wants to know, I've been inducted into the Order of the Avengers. Um, and that's the Queen of Swords. So, which is like the Queen of Illusions in this deck, which is the Queen of, actually it's not Queen, it's Visionary. Um, yeah, so again, Queen of Swords ish here. So, okay. Um, so this deck in it combines tech and or like newer modern technologies with some traditional correspondences of tarot. Although he also does he kind of goes in a little bit of a different direction with some of them. Like the High Priestess, he also associates with Virgo. Um, still the moon and also water, but Virgo is kind of a different. Um, hold on, let me put this. A different correspondence. And I don't actually use reversals currently, but I will with this deck. But I like the combination of this sort of alchemical art with um, new tech. This was the first card I pulled, but I pulled it reversed, the open sky. And oh, before I forget, So the what I'm using this for is like inspiration with creative writing. So I'm someone who um I've always been like a notebook keeper, but have like lapsed from that every now and then for like swaths at a time, and I'm trying to kind of get back in the habit of writing more regularly. And yeah, see, this looks a little bit alchemical, reminds me of Terra Volatile, but then you have like the infinity emoji, which is again one of my favorite emojis, but it's actually better in Android, like secret. Um I don't use an Android anymore, but it was such a better emoji um in Android. But anyway. Yeah, so he has a few keywords in each one, 3 to 4 keywords for both the upright and the reverse. But there were some times where he had I felt like he overused a word. Like I feel like he uses stagnation for about 9 cards or something like that. Or he used, and I'm not dissing him or anything like that. I'm just saying that for me, I was like, well, how is the stagnation of the reversed chariot different from the stagnation of the reversed strength? And so I was using that as a kind of jump off point to like parse out what the different like the different the spectrum of stagnation, so to speak. Um, so it's like stagnation, there can be this deferral and lack of movement or stasis, but then stagnation can just be like also like a blockage, so or like an external um and so yeah, so that was one way I kind of used as a jumping off point to kind of fall in love with words again. So I'm kind of going through the guidebook, and I think there's a couple other words that he uses a few times, and I'm just kind of going through the cards and feeling into how those same keywords, the different meanings that they can have, and which one fits more overall. Like stagnation feels like an umbrella word, but what are the different forms of stagnation that make the reverse chariot different from like the three of components or something like that? So, okay. Um, but yeah, so these are components. So this is Earth, and then the cups are glitches. Oh, and there are no 10 cards. He has 0 or like null cards that go as like a 10 and a 0. And so it was fun because at first I was like, oh great, there's no 10 of swords in this deck. And it's like, well, actually there is. It's just the null of swords. And it's like, so it makes it, or null of illusions rather. So that makes it even more, um, yeah. So anyway, oh, I think this is my favorite card. Oh my gosh, it's so Microsoft Paint right now. Um, I really love it. Yeah. And oh, I can hear this card. Like bloop. Like I'm someone who grew up on Windows 95 and like Microsoft Encarta. And so like one of my this is yeah, what have you done? Sorry, I'm thinking of I love this card too. But I remember this is really maybe a little strange, but this is how a kid in like the late 90s would get their kicks before the internet. Like, so I would go onto Microsoft Encarta and they had a read along voice that was like a robot and would read the article really strangely. And so I would look up like sexual entries like, oh, what is a penis? And it would say a penis is the reproductive organs of, and I would just laugh about this robot voice saying these things. Um and you know, that was before TikTok, man. Like things were dire. No, but things were also like great. So anyway, I would just be like, listen to this, and my dad would be like, he's like, you're always using like I'm like, are you using Microsoft Encarta? Can I use Microsoft Encarta? I want to use a computer, and he was like, wow, you're doing so much stuff with your homework, and then I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. Ugh, kids, you know. Um, anyway, I really got off track there. So anyway, talking about my love of words, I suppose. Where did that come from? That's oh, so good. So good. Okay. Yeah, so I'm using it to kind of prompt that I feel that a lot of my understanding of writing too is that I used to write from more of what I'd consider like a creative, quote unquote, an intuitive place, an intuitive place. And then when I was going through grad school, it just became dry and academic, and feel like it stripped any kind of sauce or flavor from my writing and just became consistently about how to provide the most information in the most concise sentence, and APA format and all that BS that I have to like unlearn, because I'm not in that in that field anymore, and I don't want to be. Thank you very much. So, okay. So yeah, so that's my serums and targeted care deck. Okay. Hi, Minnie. My cat's coming up to say hi. Okay, so the next prompt is masks. And I don't have an example of an actual mask that I use, but I love these by OK. I have one of their, so these are their eye masks that I have a reusable eye mask that I use, um, but these are ones that these are probably I probably need to get rid of these. Yeah, manufactured in December 2023. Okay, yeah, okay. But I love these. They have a bunch of different kind of masks. I like the hydrogel masks. The Sea Kelp one I think is my favorite. But anything by them, or Cream Shop is also a great one. But I know they're kind of doing a revamp. Cream Shop is doing a kind of thing where I haven't found the masks that I used to get, that used to be like a double layer of something, or like on one side it was rose, the other side it was something else. But they have a lot of like Hello Kitty kind of stuff. So I don't know if they're going more in that direction, but that's Cream Shop, by the way. So, um, but Cream Shop or OK are like the masks that I like to use. Okay, so the deck for that is a meditative deck that helps you relax, and I chose the Rose Alchemy Oracle by Sandy Humby, and I had this bag from Etsy, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. So I do have the, hold on, I have to take a sip of water. I do have the most recent one that came out, the Rose Dragons. It came out in, I think, June of 2024. But these are the original ones, and oh, I guess this one fell out last time I usually keep the one that I had most recently pulled like on top. So that's Rose Angel 10. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Okay, but um yeah, so I really like this deck. It's very, so she has a certain um system that she uses with the cards. So not like, let me see, where's the, what am I looking for? I have the books, and she also has a couple classes, but you don't need, I mean, you don't need the classes at all. But okay, so like Rose Angel 10, self-love, releasing the heart wound of abandonment. Ooh, okay. Food for thought. And then she mentions where she took the picture, and yeah, why did I take this out? Oh, I took this out for the picture of, like, for example, one of the series, the roses that are just are part of this chakra system that she has. So she also adds a few chakras to like the usual ones, like she has a spleen and liver and navel one. And I'm like kind of neither here nor there about that. I'm like, I kind of like don't think anything was wrong with the original seven. So, but I know there are some that go like Galactic Gateway and stuff. I can't do that Galactic Ascension Starseed stuff. Like just per se, I just can't. I'm not. She doesn't really do that here, but some of it can get Ascension adjacent, if that's a word. But um, it's not to the extent that's like anything intolerable for me or anything like that. But sometimes the people that expand the chakra system to like different ones that are, I mean, I know there are a few different chakra systems that do 12 and stuff like that that have histories of that, but I'm just talking about the kind of, I guess, super new agey chakras that I'm like, I don't know about that. But I can see the spleen and the liver, but when you have like seven of them above your head, it's like, okay, well, what's up with that? So, anyway, I didn't mean to go on a chakra rant there, but so this deck, I feel that it it is definitely meditative for me. Um, Roses are one of my favorite flowers, and I have like super fond memories of going to the botanical gardens when I was a kid and going with my Nana, who I'm also named after and stuff like that. And yeah, I this is one of those decks that I do mostly use with the guidebook, but okay, I'm not juxtaposing this to its proper extent. Okay. Um, yeah, it is one that I kind of need a little more information on because it's like, oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I feel serene and everything like that. So I just kind of need a little more guidance, but hi, Minnie. What do you want? What is it, honey? I'm almost done. Okay. Um, yeah, and then the Rose Dragons one. So I haven't used this one as much, but okay, trying to figure this out. She does have a little, very little that I can't read the little initials on each one. She has like a layout of them, and she did have a class that was running with this, but and because I ordered the deck, she had a discount code, but it was like they were going to meet 10 times every Tuesday, and she's based in England, and so it would have been like super early for me or something like that. And I was like, I don't know if I want to talk about these every week, but because her other courses that I have tried are more self-paced. Well, they're self-paced at this point because she did them a couple years ago. That you just kind of watch the videos and do the stuff. But I was like, I don't know if I want to meet with people every week. But that's how I am about classes in general. Like if I don't feel that I can fully commit to the space and um, the folks, I want to help preserve the integrity of the class by bowing out of it or something like that. So, okay. And where did I put this bag? Oh, here it is. Okay. So that is my masks deck. Okay. All right. Okay, moving right along. So, oh gosh, I have a couple more. Okay. So, eye cream. So I have way too many eye creams. But there's just a couple that I use. I actually kind of gravitate them around. That's not, um, I move them around, they orbit. Um, anyway, so I use a different one in the morning or in the daytime versus the nighttime. So this is another great K beauty brand. It's Beauty of Joseon. And this is the Revive Eye Serum with ginseng and retinal. Now I don't know, I feel like this could be completely wrong, but I think retinal with an A is like a little more gentle than the retinol with an O, but I don't quote me on that. Anyway, so I really like this one. Oh, the cap is all gross. Did this push out? Okay, I might have to clean that, but I used to chew ginseng gum, so like I always think of it as like waking me up, so I feel like, oh, it has ginseng in it, so let me just put that on my eyes. Around my eyes, rather. Okay. And then there's another one that I have that I tried and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. So I'm not necessarily recommending this one. Um, Not that I'm not recommending it. This is Bright and Tight by In Beauty Project, and I didn't realize that this is um actually tinted. So I guess I'll show this. Like, yeah. So it's meant to brighten under the eye, which I mean makes sense because it's called Bright and Tight, but I wasn't anticipating that, and I was like, I don't. Also, that's a huge pump right there. Like, it just felt like extra product. Um, but I wasn't sure because I sometimes use concealer, but I don't want when I'm using concealer, I want my like under eye skin to be clear. I mean, or as it is without anything on it before I put something on it. So I wasn't sure how I felt about that. Uh, yeah, so I stopped I stopped using it for now, but okay. And then for the evening, oh wait, this is another one that I sometimes use during the day. So my mom gave me this for Christmas in my stocking. So this is the Benton Fermentation Eye Cream. And I think this is a K Beauty one as well. Um, and this one is more like whipped kind of this is a lot lighter than, say, the Beauty of Joseon. Like they're both creamy, but this one feels more whipped. Like I usually have to squeeze out more than I think I need because it's just such a light, it has a light texture to it. Okay, and then in the evening, hi Minnie, I hear you. What is it? My cat Chim Chimney is like uh really needing something right now. Okay, so this is, sorry, I'm like reorienting myself. So this is Oracle by Dieux again. Um, this is a reviving eye gel. These are all of Dieux's products are fragrance free, by the way. So I forgot to mention. So the Summer Fridays one doesn't have a fragrance that I can tell, but also all the Dieux products are fragrance free. So that's good. Um, yeah, I use this with their eye. Actually, I don't. This one I use at night, so I use the reusable eye masks in the day. So I actually don't pair this with that, but um, yeah, I really like this one. So this one comes out pretty strong too, but like you use, so a full pump is for like both your eyes. So anyway, yeah, I like that. Okay, and then the deck for that. So it's a deck that helps you feel youthful. So I chose the Passages Oracle by Liliana Perez. And I love this deck because I remember when it was on Kickstarter, um, and she wasn't sure if it was gonna make its goal, and it did, thankfully. Well, obviously because here it is. But I really love this deck because it speaks to the part of me that, so when I was growing up, like I went to I grew up in South Philly, and the school there, like the teachers were kind of rough. They were like I got in trouble for like making Pinocchio like um blue or something. Like they would kind of really give me a hard time if I didn't color properly, which is weird because it was a very diverse, like, I mean, there were no blue kids in school, but, it was a very diverse population. So, is there a piece of tape there? Anyway, like, see here, this magnet, like, you would normally think that you would think of that kind of magnet as red, but she colored it like this dark, like, burnished green or olive. And yeah, there's something about the there's a wonderment about this deck that feels very like it bypasses the editor of me, like my own inner self editor, or the part of me that like um makes assumptions or kind of has less curiosity, like, oh, what might happen if, yeah, I don't know if I'm really explaining it right, but it's just it kind of gets to it bypasses that inner critic, I think. It's like, well, what if you explored this thread, like, and didn't worry so much about the, oh, well, what am I not doing if I do explore this thread? Like, what am I don't know, like seeing the opportunity in things instead of seeing like the wasted time of something that I may not have ordinarily engaged in or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but I have one upside down one. Okay. But yeah, I really love this deck, and I really enjoy Liliana Perez. I was on her Patreon for a while she had it, and she was just she is still like very giving and very like supportive and there for you and stuff like that. So anyway, that's the Passages Oracle deck. Okay, and two more. Well, technically three more because I added another prompt. So moisturizer. All right, so I use a different one in the morning and a different one in the evening. So the one I use in the morning is the Dieux Instant Angel Lipid Rich Facial Moisturizer. Sometimes these product names are just so long that I'm just um anyway, so they have two different moisturizers. The other one is lighter if your skin is more oily, and this one is a little bit more thick and rich. Yeah, rich with lipids. So I use this especially during, yeah, with my skin being as dry as it is and being winter. This is light enough though that I think I can use it over summer. Like some of these products I might kind of switch around. Um, but I do like this one. This one's pretty consistent. And then during the evening, I use, where is it? Oh, so I'm almost at the end of my, okay, so I have the Summer Fridays jet lag mask. Um, so yeah, this one's thicker, and this is my current tube. I'm almost down to it. So like, yeah. Um, Also, I had to admit, when I first got this little key thing, I thought this was supposed to go like in here and you pull the stuff out, and then I was like, why is it too big to fit in there? And then someone showed and I was like, oh my God, of course that's what you use it for. You like roll the tube in here and then, yeah, like, I was really embarrassed. I was like, oh, why would they make a key that doesn't fit in there? Anyway, okay. Um, So yeah, those are my moisturizers, and the moisturizer deck is a nourishing deck that hugs it all in, and I chose the Animal and Food Tarot by Maruko, and I love this deck. This deck is definitely a hug, and it's impossible to feel badly when you're using this deck. Okay. Um, yeah, like the tower is like this like matcha parfait that this little buddy is absconding with one of the little berries. Or this other guy has a little, yeah, it's just, how can you feel badly with this? Like the wands are cake pops, like cutest devil with the cheese fondue. I mean, I totally get that. Cheese fondue is quite devilish. It's two of swords. Um, ah, so cute. Yeah, I love it. Um, and it's a deck that is also, it's still playful, but it's very, yeah, it's comforting, but doesn't get off track. I feel like sometimes I can get caught up in the aesthetics of a deck, and that makes it kind of challenging to take in the message, but I don't feel like that's the case with this one. Um, yeah, even though this is a bunny like decorating a lion cake, I can still take that as like, strength of its own, a different kind of strength. Yeah. I love that. Like this is so fun. I want to join in. Yeah. Okay. Even the Five of Pentacles is like, oh, but where will we get our donuts? I don't know where that accent came from. Okay. Being a little loopy here. It's like 10 p.m. All right. So the next one is um sun protection. And so I have a couple different ones that I use. So if I'm going the tinted moisturizer route, I use this Dermatology tinted moisturizer. This is SPF 46. It's an odd number. I usually am seeing like, 30, 45, or 50, but 46, what they had to do to get that extra SPF unit in there, I don't know. But this is a universal tinted moisturizer, and maybe it's a little I mean, I have the medium neutral complexion. It works for me, so I don't know how universal it is, but I got this as a gift from my cousin, and I really like it. It's Yeah, I don't anything below 45, anything below 45 I don't mess with. It's just like what's the point to me. So this is what I put on when I want tinted moisturizer, but otherwise, and this is whether I'm putting on any makeup or not. Both of these are work well with makeup. This one a little bit more so. So both of these are by Naked Sundays. They're both SPF 50s. This one is the CabanaCreme Hydrating Sunscreen Moisturizer. That's kind of like a primer and moisturizer and sunscreen in one. And this one is more, so this is called CabanaClear, and it's the water gel serum. I do find this one is a little more drying than this one. Um, Neither of them leave a white cast, and they do have, this one has a slightly stronger smell of sunscreen, but I kind of just accept that at this point. I feel like that kind of comes with the territory, but the most important thing to me is that it doesn't leave a white cast. These are chemical sunscreens, they're not mineral sunscreens. Um, yeah, I can't really, there's something different about the way that mineral sunscreens work versus chemical sunscreens, and some people say chemical sunscreens are a scam, and then other people say this and that, but also mineral sunscreens don't typically do well with makeup, but chemical sunscreens are better with that. Again, I don't wear a lot of makeup often, but anyway, so just wanted to say that in case you're a makeup wearer, these work well with makeup. Um, Again, they're Naked Sundays, they're both SPF 50, and I highly recommend them. Okay, so, alright. And then the deck I chose for that is the Modern Mary Oracle by Redfish Tarot. Now this deck isn't in print anymore. Redfish Tarot's, I don't know if they just stopped making their decks or just stopped putting them up for sale, but this is my copy. I rebacked it. Um, and I love this deck because it's very, um, it's comforting, it's simple, and I realized too, because the card I pulled the most out of it is the protection card. And I think at first I was like a little bit like paranoid, like what do I need protection from? What is it? Like what's going on? But then I realized that it was more, this deck was more communicating support and was protective in itself. Um yeah, so I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how it comes across to me and how I experience this deck. So I think there's a few different versions. I've seen like this card before with the font a little bit different. So I think this was the most recent one. I think I got it in 2022. Um, I wish they would put their decks back up for sale because I love this deck. But yeah, it's really good. Anyway, so that's what I chose for that one. Um, and also too, I was gonna say, like, I feel like there's mild, like, even though it has Mary in it, it's not denominational to me. Like, anyway. Okay, and then I added one more category, and this one I called it as needed. So throughout the day, it's like something that you can use throughout the day for a quick pick me up throughout the day. And I just have to show this one product. This is Thorn Milk Hydrating Skin Mist by Ritual Defee, and it looks so metal. Like it it looks just like a potion of blood. So this is like rose oil and water and a mist, and you just shake it up and then spray it on your face throughout the day. I usually do at least like 4 sprays, and it just kind of is a nice pick me up mid-afternoon, like midday, um, before in between face washes. It's just like a hydration. Um, but I think I got this. I don't think this is very cheap, so I think I got it on a promo or something. I had like rewards from it or something. So, but this is like luxurious and what's the word? Like bog witch. It's very it's very like a decadent bog witch, like putting mud on her face. Like, and I'm all about that. And it smells amazing too. So, yeah, so I use that as a pick me up throughout the day, and I just feel like a badass. So it doesn't, the color of it doesn't transfer to your face. I was like, is it gonna look like red spray all over? But it doesn't. Somehow, or I haven't experienced that as much. Um, anyway, okay. And then the deck I chose for that is, so the prompt I use for that is a deck you can use for a quick pull throughout the day. And I chose the Vision of the Muse Oracle. I can take it out, by Alejandra Louisa Leon. She did the Lioness Oracle Tarot and the Stars Divine Oracle. I'm trying to figure out if she still has this deck for sale. So it's, again, it's called Vision of the Muse, and this is the more recent um edition. Sorry, I'm like crooked. Oh, I'm very crooked. Okay. I've probably been crooked this whole time and didn't realize, but um, yeah, I really enjoy this deck, and it does have keyword like little keywords and descriptions, but you don't. I actually read this more intuitively. Um, love that card so much. Yeah. So she did have an earlier edition that was thinner cardstock and had a different back. But oh, I love this so much. I feel like so I have she had a threadless shop and she had a shirt with this on it. And when I see this, I think of the comic card in the Wild Unknown Archetypes, which is a deck that I love a lot. But that card is like kind of like a like it's just a miss for me, and I feel like this vibe is kind of what that card was going for, but this one does it so much better. I think I'm thinking of the right card. I think it's the comic, right? The one with that looks like a beach ball with like weird disparate rainbow colors. I don't know if I'm getting I have almost want to go find it now and like but this the video is long enough, so okay. But yeah, I super love this deck, and I feel that no matter what time of the day you pull this, you can always get something really special from it. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I picked. Okay. Thank you friends for watching. Thank you Janaki at Catamancy Tarot for creating this awesome prompt, and I know I've been I haven't been on Discord lately, but I'm hoping to change that, and I've been thinking of you all and keeping up with your videos and stuff, and hope to see you soon. Okay, bye.